This is a short film about Birgitta, an 80-year-old woman who has chosen to live far away from society, entirely alone, way up north in Sweden in the mountains of Lapland. Throughout this film, Birgitta is seen outdoors in winter landscapes or at home in her wooden 2-story house, which is near a lake. Not a single other person is spotted. Birgitta narrates her life story. In this version, she is dubbed into English.
I've been a bit peculiar all my life. I've never been like other people, really. That's how it feels.
This film about Birgitta is titled Live Free or Die. It's an episode in the documentary series, Stories from Sweden.
People are surprised that I dare to live here, that I know. They say, how can you live there? My goodness, aren't you afraid? Then I say, when I lived in the village of Tärnaby, I was afraid of the dark. But living here, I feel completely safe.
Birgitta prepares a meal in her kitchen. It's a fully equipped modern kitchen.
I was born and raised in Blattnicksele on a small farm, with 7 cows, 2 horses, and lots of sheep and pigs, and hens and roosters.
Interiors of Birgitta's furnished home are shown.
I moved to Stockholm when I was 18, or maybe I hadn't turned 18 yet, and that was scary. At night, on the first day that I lived there, I went for a walk down Volmar-Rikskullsgatan and Hornsgatan. I wanted to see the lock, slutet, that I'd been hearing about. And just like that, someone was tailing me. Eventually I turned to the old bastard and said, "What the hell are you after?" "How much do you charge?" he asked. "Go to hell," I replied, "or go home to your woman. You'll be of better use there." Dirty old man, I was taken for a prostitute. But it doesn't matter, I survived that as well.
Birgitta's house overlooks a lake. Behind the house are forests. Near the house are 3 old barns.
We are in northern Sweden, in something called Lapland, which in Sami is Sápmi, between the lower end of Lake Tärna and Lake Översjuktan, more or less right in the middle by a lake called Bjällöjaure. From here, it's 11 kilometres to the closest public road.
Birgitta takes a walk. She uses walking sticks.
It's calm and peaceful, and you can be all by yourself. If you want company, you can always hope that someone will come by. And sometimes someone does.
Lake Bjällöjaure near Birgitta's house is shown. The lake is largely surrounded by snowy mountains. Birgitta walks back home.
Of course, I'm not part of society. I don't participate in social life. I can miss going to the theatre to see a show, or going to the community centre when there's a show. I miss that sometimes.
Birgitta picks up a bucket of salt in her storeroom. She goes out to her porch and sprinkles it with salt to prevent ice from forming.
You can't have everything in this life, you know. You have to choose. Where do I like it the most? Here, which means other things must go, stuff I don't need.
Birgitta goes back inside.
I talk to myself, you know, so I get by. And then suddenly I find myself watching that damn TV too.
Birgitta is seated in her living room. She looks at the lake through the window. The day slowly turns into night.
No, I don't long for the village. I don't long to live in a community. I don't. I think this is an amazing place to live. When they suggested building a road for quad bikes so that I could get to the supermarket, I imagined how some nutcase would come driving in a car, and I don't want that. For as long as I'm alive, I think that road can wait. After that, they can do what they want.
It is now pitch black outside.
I can't imagine living anywhere else. My kids have begged me, Mum, can't you move at least during the darkest months? From November to January. Can't you move into the village? No. Take me away from this place against my will, and I'll die within 2 weeks. It's as simple as that.
Birgitta breaks into a smile. This film about Birgitta is brought to you by Sweden's official YouTube channel. It's an episode in the channel's documentary series, Stories from Sweden.